Peace starts within. When the world is feeling heavy, watch this. In case we haven't met yet, I'm Jess X Goh, and I'm the sole founder of Life in Confidence. If you haven't done so, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Life in Confidence, so you don't miss out on the latest insight into trauma recovery. If you have found any nuggets of gold from this video, please give it a like and comment below so more people can receive this transmission. I'm going to share with you multiple perspectives in order for you to see the bigger picture, to raise your awareness and use your discernment to exercise critical thinking. I have done my research around this, and this is based on my findings, my experiences, and knowledge that I have learned. So, here's the thing. We live in the world known as the Matrix. The infrastructure is built by people in power, known as the elitist families, such as the Rockefellers, that have created universities and education to program people to think linear. Then you have the Rothschilds, who are in control and have set up the banking system. And this feeds into this slavery of debt through mortgages and loans. And you have big tech through Mark Zuckerberg, such as Facebook, WhatsApp, and Instagram. And they use all of these algorithms to influence you, the way you think, the way you behave and feel about certain things, and so forth. There's so many different systems and elite families out there that is controlling the way we operate, which keeps us stuck in this low level of consciousness. It prevents us from critical thinking. It prevents us from having a deep connection with Source and our high self to be spiritual beings rather than linear robots. And so, if you think of it this way, when you watch reality TV shows, comedies, movies, news on TV, it dumbs down the consciousness. It keeps us programmed in this false way of being that is so minuscule and petty. It keeps us in this frequency of sensationalism, needing drama, conflict to feel again. And the reason why they are in power is because it's through our consent to tolerate and agree and say yes. And the reason why we are constantly experiencing wars, it's because the wars are funded by the elites. And the more wars they fund, the richer they get. Think of it this way. The cost of living is constantly rising. Why hasn't it declined? Why is it that petrol prices are going up? Groceries, gold, silver, property, and so forth. It's because the elites have businesses in these industries. And so when they control the game by funding wars and creating wars, they become richer. And this is what helps them to stay in power. Now, the thing is, it's not about battling and going into war with the elites. It's actually about how can we stop feeding into their fear frequency that we are all contributing into the collective consciousness that's keeping us trapped in the war. By doing so, we must go within to clear distortions, karmic contracts that we've made in our past lives, in the astral field that's still playing out in this lifetime, and the byproduct as we are of our ancestral karma and traumas and burdens that needs to be cleared. That's feeding into the collective consciousness. That's where the focus needs to be. To share from a spiritual perspective, I asked a monk, what do you think about the war? And he says that the war is humans being attached to their ego, because they're attached to material accumulation, which turns into greed. Therefore, this is how war begins. So he was pointing out the way out is by going within. My mentor, Christoph Melchizedek, shared that the next 2 to 3 years is going to be very volatile and unstable. It's really important that we must do the inner work and embody it for things to shift. And the reason for this, it's because old systems that we are seeing right now are crumbling. The elites know that their time is running out. They're doing everything they can to stabilize their frequency of fear and war in order for them to stay in power to control the consciousness of humanity. And so, when we go inward, we have the power to decide to say no to this by clearing all of these distortions. So we can shift and clear as much as we can with the elites. For example, with WhatsApp, I notice myself, some of my contacts gets deleted and I didn't delete them. I even had a client who had her whole contact list wiped out from WhatsApp. And the reason for this, from my perspective, energetically, these elites do not have the same impact of power they had in the past. And so whatever infrastructure that they're creating are starting to crumble. And also from the Chinese almanac, my understanding is that this year and next year is going to be highly volatile. There's going to be more wars, more inflation, and more economic volatility. This year with the fire horse energy and next year with the fire sheep energy, it's shaking things up. It's not the time for new beginnings. It's the time for endings. Collapsing the old systems in order for new beginnings to then rise through. So from my understanding in gathering these different insights and research and using my discernment to think things through from a place of a higher perspective is to know that we need to focus on going inward to find stability, safety, certainty, and confidence in what's going on right now. Because there's no point of trying to fix and control what's going on the outside because it's beyond our control. What we need to focus on is anchoring ourselves from within, anchoring source, our high self, into our physical body, into the material world, rather than escaping by ascending and going back to source. We didn't come into flesh, into this physical form on this earth to go back to source. We came here to descend and bring back our power, our sovereignty, our autonomy into this earth using source energy to clear the distortions that's going on in this field. So now is the time for the next 2 years is to focus on your healing journey, to dive deeper into your traumas, your burdens and baggages that needs to be cleared, to dive deeper into your soul records and karmic contracts that needs to be cleared as much as you can, finding the right mentor, coach, healer, therapist, whoever it is, to help you and guide you on your way. So, my love, the focus is to not get into fear, to consume by reading up what's going on in the world, or to feel dysregulated by listening to the news on the radio or on the TV. It's by grounding yourself with earth. It's by connecting with yourself with kindred spirits to lift you up as you lift them up. To form community through connection and compassion. To look out for one another through a place of abundance. What we give is also what we get back. To see the world with love and not hate. And to see ourselves with softness, kindness, and compassion, rather than comparison, criticism, and fear. Now is the time to go inward, because this is the time right now that we need to help humanity by helping ourselves. So my love, if you are ready to take yourself to the next level, I invite you to join me for my Winter Solstice Ancestral Trauma Clearing Circle to help you clear layers of soul contracts and traumas that we've taken on from our parents through our ancestors that is contributing to the collective consciousness. If you can't join me live, you can get access to the replay for 1 month, and you can listen to this transmission as many times as you need, and to engage into the different practices to help you clear these distortions and to integrate them into embodiment. You can also work with me through my one-to-one trauma recovery retreats, where you can see me for half a day or full day. You can work with me privately online for 3 months through Find Yourself and Trust. If you are ready for a massive breakthrough and transformation in all areas of your life, or if you are ready to come and attend to my upcoming weekend workshops, such as Transforming Trauma, Conscious Relationships, and Magnetic Woman. I also run retreats with my workshops as well, if you require an overnight stay and to get access from myself for further integration and support. You can find all of the details in the links in the video description. And definitely watch my free webinar, Overcome the Impacts of Childhood Traumas, to do your research around my work, my personal and professional experiences with healing the impacts of childhood traumas and different types of traumas. So there you have it, my love. I hope that these insights serve you to see things more clearly, to get a bigger picture and understanding in what's going on in the collective. Because the way out is by going within.